everybody, and welcome to a new video which is hopefully gonna have a few series. This series is gonna be called Tractor Review, and today we are doing the John Deere 6130R. This is a brand new tractor. It's just come out of the factory, brand new, and I have the privilege to sit in it and show you around it and show you what it's got to offer and show you kind of how to drive it and all the buttons, what they do and all of that. So yeah, let's get straight into this. So down over here we have a nice handy little cubby hole which is very nice. So you open it with, there's a handle under here, if I can find it, there we go, and it has quite a lot of room in there. That's quite handy. Here we have the very nice comfy passenger seat, which is nearly as comfy as the actual driver's seat, and under there should be a little handle to bring it down. There are the two seat belts. Here is a nice handy parking brake, and then we have adjustable armrests and one on the right side as well. So then down there we have our clutch, our brake and our accelerator. Then up here we have the fuel gauge, which is on the left, and the rev gauge. Yeah, that's the fuel gauge, and then that is the temperature gauge, and then this is the speedometer, which I think this is a 50 kilometer an hour option. Those are indicators, and that is a warning light, that is a warning light, and that is another warning light. This warning light comes on when you have the parking brake on, I think. This one comes on when there is a fault code on the computer over here, and then this one at the top comes on when there is a serious engine fault. Here are your lights. You have your power shuttle, which is very nice. I do like it. Indicators, horn, window wiper settings, and you have your back tail doors wiper settings, and a really comfy nice leather steering wheel. And then down here we have a load of vents, air vents, to direct which way the fan is going to be blowing at you. And then so yeah, we have more up the side there, and then the pedals are very nice. They are very nice. So over here we have the control for the revs, which is basically controlling your engine revs. So when you're using the PTO, say it's on 1000 RPM, you will engage it, then you will slowly push it up to the top, and once it's at the top it will be at full speed running at 1000 RPM. So yeah, that's pretty much what that does. You can also control the engine braking with that, so when you're going down a hill with a big load, you can push that forward and it will slow down the engine. So here is the AutoQuad gearbox. With those two buttons you can change gear. So here you can see is park, and there is neutral all across that way. And here you have A, B, C, D, E and F. And then, like I said, so this button here goes up a gear, this button goes down a gear, the one underneath it. Yes, the one underneath it goes down a gear. That is to engage your automatic gear changing function. So it will go up through the 4 gears automatically. This is your clutch button. You hold that in, and instead of doing that, basically does a substitute for that one on the floor. So then moving over, we have basically a duplicate of the two buttons on the big gear stick that change gears. So yeah, it's basically another one of those two buttons which go up and down a gear. So say if you're ploughing and you're holding the big hydraulic controlling thing, you're constantly adjusting the 3-point linkage. You want to just change gear, reach your thumb over, and you just can go down or up a gear. Then this big roller cog here is to finely change the angle of the 3-point linkage. And then this one up here is to just change the 3-point linkage just very roughly up and down. This one down here is to lift your 3-point linkage fully up. This is your auto guidance button, which turns on basically GPS. 2 and 1 are your two assignable buttons for like the computer. Set is again another control to do with the computer. And then you have your hydraulic locking button, which is, so basically, say if you're going along the road and you're going along the road with a big trailer, and say you're resting your arm on the hydraulic cluster, before you go on the road, you just want to press that lock button, and in case you press any buttons, no hydraulics will work. So here's the PTO button. I would push that forward to engage the PTO and bring it back to turn it off. Here are your 3 hydraulic spools, which will go up and down. And here is the locking, it is kind of a locking system. So that one will only let it go up to there, where my finger is. And then if we bring it all the way over, you just cannot move it at all. And that is the same for 2 and 3 as well. Nice little handy cubby hole there. Then over here we have a big cup holder, our electric plugs for electric things for coming in the cab. That's raising up the hitch and lowering the hitch, and again more electric controls. Electric plugs for big things coming in the cab, like a hedge trimmer control. And again, here is probably where you will plug in your big electric hedge trimmer joystick. If the wire is coming in the back of the tractor and you had the joystick, you would plug it in there. So then over here we have our controls for the stereo or radio. That is, plus and minus are your volume buttons, and that is mute and fast forward, and beacons 1 and 2 for the lights, warning lights, ISO bus button, guidance button, auto guidance button for the computer. And then that is to isolate your 3-point linkage. That is to isolate the PTO in case anything goes wrong. Then this one over here, which I'm pointing at right now, is to isolate the battery. And then this one here with the cog on it is to isolate the gearbox, again in case anything goes horribly wrong. So these 2 buttons are to control the computer again. Basically the arrow is yes and the X is no. Here we have lights, music, phone. That is changing which way the fan is blowing at yourself, and then that is air conditioning. So then over here we have changing the temperature down and changing the temperature up. And then over here, that is temperature up and down. And then over here we have the fan turning down the speed of the fan and turning up the speed of the fan. That is automatic 4-wheel drive. That is automatic diff lock. So it will turn on when it thinks it needs to. And then here we we just press that button and four-wheel drive will engage, so that's basically doing it manually. And then underneath that, diff lock will engage as well, and that is your ISO bus button under there too. So that is pretty much it for all the cluster controls. And then here is your big screen, which will only turn on when the tractor is turned on, and I think it's touch screen. So yeah, a nice big cup holder there, lovely nice big stereo up there, a really nice sunroof, and then we have the big hitch out control, and you have your back window there. And yeah, so that is kind of pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.